everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is Ketki, and today we have a special guest, a celebrity author, STACY Bauer. You must have seen her books so far, mainly the Cami and Wyatt. She has been working on these books for last 3 years,
Mhm.
and she has proudly published 6 books so far. So let's go over to Stacy and understand more about the entire process. Thank you, Stacy, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, tell us more about your story and your adventure so far.
Well, I am a mom and teacher from Minnesota here in the US. And, I've been like a lot of aspiring or would be authors out there. I've been writing since I was young, like probably 6 or 7 years old. And so it's kind of always been on my bucket list or been a dream of mine to be a published author. I just never did it because, life gets busy or whatever. So a few years ago, I decided I really want to go for this dream of mine. I'm just going to write a book. And I remember thinking it's going to be super easy. I'm just going to write a book and it's going to get published and then I'll be done. And so I made a list of things that my kids have done before that I thought other kids have also done. So relevant things that would be relevant to like teachers and parents out there. And so I wrote the story about my daughter sneaking treats when she was 3 and then ending up with cavities. And then after I wrote the story, it took me only like 10, 15 minutes to write the story because it had really happened. So it didn't take long to write it. But then after I was done, I just didn't know what to do. And I hear that from a lot of other authors that are out there too. Just what do you do after you have your story written? So I remember sitting there thinking, okay, I don't know any authors. I know nothing about the publishing world. Am I supposed to find an agent? Am I supposed to try to get traditionally published? So I reached out to some family and friends and I asked, does anybody know anyone that has published a book before? And my sister actually went to high school with somebody who had just started her own publishing company and published a book of her own. Her name is Lindsay, and she actually lives in my area. So I ended up hooking up with her and having breakfast with her, and she helped me get started. Um, so I ended up joining a bunch of Facebook author groups, and that's really how another way that I got started on this journey is just by asking other authors, what do I do next? That's how I found editors. That's how I figured out most of the process is from those groups and from other successful authors that I met in Facebook. So that's something I tell other authors to really do is to find those. Whatever your genre is, find those groups on Facebook because authors are extremely helpful and we like to support each other. We're our own community. So that's a great tip is to do that.
Wow, fantastic. So how draining was the journey? Like it's been 3 years you have been
Mhm.
writing, and the series is doing fantastic, but getting it out to the real market or getting it out to the exact consumer, how difficult was it?
Yeah. So I would say, looking back, I had no idea that marketing would be as much a part of it as it is. When other authors ask me, what surprised you the most, or what's the hardest, it's marketing. So yeah, writing the book is fun, and finding your illustrator can be tricky, and starting a website was hard because I had no idea how to do that. And but marketing by far is the hardest part for me. I have no marketing background. I have no marketing experience. I don't have any marketing schooling. I'm a teacher. I've never sold anything to anybody besides Girl Scout cookies. So I had no idea how to go about. We had to study a lot, and I still do. I take marketing webinars. I read a lot of marketing articles. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. In the author groups I'm in, I share things that I've done that are successful, and then other people share things that they've done that are successful. So, over the last 3 years, yeah, I would say marketing is probably like 90% of being a self-published author is probably marketing. Yeah. My books are probably 95% of my books are sold on Amazon.
Mhm.
I chose to do it that way for a couple of reasons. I know a lot of people sell from their website and they want to do that because they make more of a profit per book. But for me, I felt like, everybody shops on Amazon here in the US, most people. And Amazon, it's the largest bookstore in the world. They handle all the distribution, they ship to the customer, they offer the customer free shipping.
Right.
So even though I don't make as much per book, I do more sales from selling on Amazon. So I run Amazon ads because without those ads, um, a lot of people won't even see your book on Amazon because there's 12 million books on Amazon. So
Right.
Amazon, so if you're able to run Amazon ads, that is a good thing to learn about. Um, and then I also do a lot of marketing on Facebook and Instagram. So those social media sites that billions of people are on, get an author page on those sites and start posting about your book, but not only about your book, because people aren't going to follow you just to hear you say, buy my book, here's a link, buy my book. So
Right.
you want to
Right.
figure out who your audience is. So like for my first book, which is Too Many Sweets, I had to think about, okay, who's going to buy this? Who's going to be interested in buying this? Well, it's going to be parents, of course,
Yeah.
but it's about healthy eating and going to the dentist. So it's going to be dentists, dental hygienists, maybe moms who are into healthy eating, dietitians, nutritionists, people like that. So then what I do is I look for those people on Instagram. So I will go on Instagram and I'll type in like hashtag dental hygienist mom or hashtag healthy mom, and I'll start following them and reposting their posts. And anyway, and I'll use those kind of hashtags. And then when I'm making ads on Facebook, that's the audience that I gear my ads toward too, is healthy
Wow.
moms and dental hygienists and things like that. And then when I'm posting it on my social media page too, I will post memes and funny stuff that my audience will like. And then they'll follow me, not just because I have books that I'm trying to sell, but because I'm posting relevant content that they're interested in seeing.
Right.
So, like, this is my third book that came out, which is about too much screen time. So, for this one, I'm looking for screen free parents,
Right.
parents that, yeah, I want to get their kids off the screen and spend more time with their kids. For this one, I'm looking for people who really want to focus on doing kind deeds and showing kindness. So kind of each book has to do with, parenting and teachers, but there's also more specific audience in there too that I can look for.
Right. Right. Wow. Certainly. Yeah. There's so much homework behind the screen, right? I
Mhm.
mean, not just publishing the book and selling it, but there is such a adventure behind it every
Mhm.
time. And with new book, the new adventure starts, right? It's not that you have done one and then you are set for rest of the series, but for every book you have to start from scratch, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's when I wrote my first book, so after I found my illustrator, and that was going to be thousands of dollars for illustrations, because you don't want to scrimp on the illustrations. Like when people are looking for picture books, your cover attracts them. So you want
Right.
to have a good book. You need to have a good book cover, nice and bright and easy to read from far away, because your thumbnail on Amazon is that big. Um, so, that's not an area to cut costs. I mean, you can find good illustrators for reasonably priced. You just don't want to go like super cheap and cut costs because, you need to save money. So found my illustrator that I loved, and I thought, and then I figured out how much it was going to cost. And I ended up running a Kickstarter campaign for it because I didn't have $8,000 just laying around.
Right.
So yeah, once I figured out, oh my gosh, this is going to cost me $8,000 with illustrations and printing and editing and all that, then I was in it for the long haul, because I wasn't just publishing a book because it's my hobby and it's always something I wanted to do. Now I actually have to try to sell it because
Yeah.
I'm investing $8,000 in this. So
Yeah.
that's how I kind of got the ball rolling with marketing, which I never thought I would be doing. But once you invest thousands of dollars, you're kind of like, okay, well, I suppose I should probably try to sell some books too. And then, like you said, then the next book comes, and what am I going to do? Just throw it on Amazon and hope people buy it? No, then you got to market for that book. And pretty soon it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
And you've got kids, and I'm a teacher too. And so it's some days it's overwhelming, but I just, I just try to balance the best I can. And I do a lot of my work at night after my
Yeah,
kids go to bed.
right, right. Yeah, same story all over the world here.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with the name Cami and what?
Those are my kids' names.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So my daughter's name is actually Camden, but we
Okay.
call her Cami. And then she's 11 now. She was 7 when I first started this whole thing, and my son is Wyatt, and he's 8. So he was 4 when I started. And people always ask me, "What do your kids think about this?" Well, when they were 7 and 4, they thought it was really cool, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you should name the characters after us." And now they're kind of like, "Oh, I don't want to be in your books anymore. And do you have to?" And I'm like, "Well, you're the main characters." So yeah, I guess I could introduce, I mean, in my latest book, I did put some new characters in there. I've got Violet and Chester Koala. So I was thinking that I would maybe start to write about those if my kids really didn't want me to write about them anymore. But then after talking to one of my author friends, I offered to pay my kids for the right to use their name. and
Nice.
they wanted that option. So now they each have a little safe in their room, and I pay them to do Facebook lives and go on TV and use their name in my book. And so they're making a little, because I told them it's a family business. You're helping me sell my books.
Right.
So if you don't want to be in it, if you don't want to be a part of it anymore, that's fine. If you do want to be a part of it, I made up a contract and everything. And so that's what they wanted. Now they're all for it.
Wow. It's legit now.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. What a journey.
Hmm.
So what
Yep.
are your future projects look like?
Gosh, for right now, I mean, this Christmas book just came out last week. So
Yeah.
for right now, I'm just focused on marketing my books for the Christmas season. So I don't have anything new coming until, at least after Christmas. So for the next until January, I'll just be really heavily marketing the books that I have. Um, I do have my own publishing company where I do consults with authors and I help other authors. I don't publish books for them because I just haven't gotten into that yet, but I help other authors with marketing and selling and just getting their book started or whatever. So I'm doing that, which I love because I'm a teacher. So I like to help people like that. And then um, and so I guess I'll be thinking about, I've got the 6 books out, and I'm just going to be marketing those right now, but I'm going to be thinking about what I want to do for the spring. If I want to do another one, I thought about just doing a book about Wyatt because I haven't done one with him where he's the main character yet.
Hmm.
So he might be next. I might do a book about being humble or something like that. So,
Nice, nice. Wow.
it's intimidating and it's overwhelming, and that's okay. I know a lot of authors say that they're introverts and it's really hard for them to get out there. I am too. Um, 3 years ago, this would have made me extremely nervous, but I tell other authors, I'm like, you have to get out there, because if you don't get out there, your books aren't going to sell. So
Right,
if you want to sell your books, you just have to fake it. If you're nervous, that's okay. We're all nervous. Just fake it, act confident. If you believe, this is your book, you should believe in it. And if you
right.
believe in it, then you need to sell it like you believe in it so that other people will like it too. And don't forget, that there are a lot of authors out there like me who love helping other authors. So just seek those people out, join those groups I told you about. People can go on my website, stacycbauer.com, and I have a blog where I have lots of tips that I've done over the years that people can read about. And I have an author school that I've made courses for, and I do the consults too. And I'd be more than happy to talk to anybody about any of the things that we talked about.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Well, thank
Okay.
you so much for your time.
Fun. Well, it was good talking to you.
Yeah, same here. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too. Bye bye.